Hello all. In today's lesson, we will be working on the second type of factorization, and that factorization is basically called factorization of monic, quadratic, trinomial. These words name so big for you, but this is a very simple expression in algebra. And you have seen these many times. For example, if I write x squared plus 3x plus 2, you have seen such kind of expressions in algebra a lot. This is called basically monic quadratic trinomial because we have various types of factorizations. So it is the best way to learn the factorization if you know their forms. Okay, because different forms, they have different ways to factorize those kind of expressions. So here I am discussing today on the monic quadratic trinomials factorization. So first of all, I would like to explain the meaning of these three terms and how they join together to form an expression. Monic stands for 1, quadratic stands for 2, and trinomial stands for 3. You can remember it like this. But what is that 1? What is that 2? What is that 3? I'm going to explain you now. Trinomial, as I said, it is 3. What is the meaning of 3 here? That you will be dealing with an expression, you will be dealing with an algebraic expression which would be having 3 terms. And what are those 3 terms? One is x squared, another term is 3x, and another term is 2. They can be positive, negative, that is another story. But for now, just remember one thing, that if we saying that this is a trinomial, that means it will be an algebraic expression. Basically, it will be a polynomial with 3 terms. Or you can say an algebraic expression which is following all the rules of polynomial and it is having 3 terms in it. Okay, I will explain the whole process of what is a polynomial in detail in another video. But for now, you can just understand trinomial means here is an algebraic expression which are following to be a polynomial, all the conditions of being a polynomial, and it has 3 terms in total. Second comes quadratic. Quadratic stands for exponent value, the highest exponent value, briefly actually speaking. So for example, here we have one term as x squared, another term is 3x, and then another term is 2 also. Okay, so here we have these terms, and in these terms, if you see, variable is x. The first term is having an exponent value of 2. Second term is having an exponent value of 1. If nothing is written, so it is 1. And the last term is not having any x, so that is a constant term. So if the highest exponent value, if you see in this expression, it is 2, so that means it is quadratic. So we are just discussing about the factorization of quadratic trinomials. Okay, meaning there will be 3 terms. Out of those 3 terms, there will be an expression with x square or y square or z square or w square. So the highest exponent value will be 2 only. If you get an expression like x cube plus x square, so this is not a quadratic trinomial because it is having 2 terms first of all, and here the highest exponent value of x variable is 3. So this is no more a quadratic, it will be cubic. Then next thing comes monic. Monic stands for that the highest exponent value of x, it is x square here. So the term which is x square, what is written just before it? What is its coefficient? If nothing is written, that means it is by default 1. So we are discussing only the cases where we have only the monic quadratic trinomial, the highest degree term which is x square or y square. It will be always like this: y square, x square, z square. We will not discuss the case like 3z square. We are not going to discuss it. We are not going to discuss it like 2z square. No, we are not going to discuss it. We are just going to discuss the cases with like z square, x squared, y square, p square, n square, like that. Okay, so this kind of factorization we are going to discuss about. So I hope the definition, the process is clear. What kind of factorization we are going to deal in at this today's lesson? It is for monic, quadratic, trinomial kind of expressions. Okay, then the next thing comes here. How do we factorize them? Now, two things you must know. First, as I told you, you should know the meanings of these words: monic, quadratic, and trinomial. That is the first requirement. And second is, if you understand the concept of expanding the two brackets. I am writing two expressions. One I am writing x squared plus 3x plus 2, and one I am writing x plus 1 times x plus 2. First of all, I need to know, if you people know, which is the factorized form. As in my first lesson of factorization, I explained factorization is a multiplication. And in these two expressions, which expression is showing a multiplication? Expression A or expression B? It is expression B, because here it is x plus 1, so it is a bracket and there is no sign, so it is like a multiplication, x plus 2. So second expression, it is a factorized form. So now what we have to do, and this is a monic quadratic trinomial. So we have to go from here to here. We have to move from A to B. Just remember this thing. Okay. As we come to know that we have to factorize, so something image like this we should get in our mind, because it is a product of two expressions. And we have a monic quadratic trinomial, so it will move to this kind of form: x plus something times x plus another thing. Okay, now the question comes, how do we do it? Now, first, before doing the factorization, I explained you the concept of multiplication, or multiplying the two brackets, or expanding the two brackets. I'm not going to explain the detail how do we expand it, but I'm going to just write down the results and the expansion process that I will explain in some other videos. Okay, so now if let's say this is an expression given which is a factorized form, I get it equals to x squared plus 3x plus 2. This is the first. Second, I am writing x plus 4 times x plus 2, and that would be equals to x squared plus 6x plus 8. Right now, I am only focusing on the positive answers, because once you understand this positive, then the other will be like with negative, it will be very easy for you. But first is we have to understand the concept. Now, this is the factorized form. Basically, we have to find out this factorized form. This is also a factorized form. Right now, we are doing the reverse. We are expanding and we are getting these monic, quadratic, trinomial. Here also we are getting the same thing. Now, how these two forms are related, how the factorized form and monic quadratic trinomials are related. Look at the numbers. Variables are same. You can have y plus 1 times y plus 2, but you will be getting y squared plus 3y plus 2. So basically the variable y's are not having any changes, as like they, as x is behaving same as y. But look at the numbers. Look at these numbers I want to see. 3, 2, and here the numbers are 1 and 2. Because if you compare these two expressions, only these numbers are changing. The process of writing is same. Here is a quadratic trinomial, here is a quadratic trinomial, here is a factorized form x plus something times x plus something, here is also. Only things which are going to change here are these numbers. So I will try to show you how these numbers are related from the one form to the another form. Remember which is the factorized form and which is the monic quadratic form. That is the most important thing. Now in exam, when the factorization question will be coming, you will be getting a question like x squared plus 6x plus 8, and you will have to expect to give the answer like x plus 4 times x plus 2. But how? There are two methods. I'm going to explain the first method which we use in this our this normal British level, O levels also. In CBSE, there is a full explanation. I will explain that as well. So what we need to do here is, if you look at this number 1 and 2, and here the numbers are 3 and 2. We have the numbers here 1 and 2, and here we have numbers 3 and 2. Here we have the numbers 4 and 2, and here we have the numbers 6 and 8. Now we have to see how these numbers are related. What I do is I see that if in the first question, if I add these two, 1 plus 2, I get this number 3. And if I multiply these two, I am getting the second number 2. These are the numbers from the factorized form, and these are the numbers from the quadratic trinomial. The second term, which is with x, if I add these, I should get 3. And if I multiply them, I am getting 2. That is this last term. Let's see if the same behavior I can see in the second also. Here we have 4 and 2. If I add them, I'm getting 6, which is this number. And if I multiply them, I'm getting the constant term 8. So I reached up to a conclusion that this term, which is here like this 6 and this 8, they have a special meaning. I can find out two numbers, a, x plus a times x plus b. If I write, then I can find these two numbers from these two. So I generalize this whole case. So let's say I am writing here x square plus, let's say 5x plus 6. So I can, this is a quadratic trinomial, monic quadratic trinomial. I can write it in the form of like x plus a times x plus b. That is called its factorized form. This a and b can be obtained from this 5 and 6 in such a way that if I add a plus b, I should get 5. And if I multiply a and b, I should get 6. I wrote the product on the top because first you always start from the product. First, consider the product should be 6, and then we will get the sum as 5. Now this product is 6. There are two numbers whose product is 6. Always starts from 1 and form this product. Like 1 times what will give you 6? 1 times 6. 2 times what can give you 6? 2 times 3 can give you 6. Now we have two options. In other questions, you will be having more than 2 even. So which option we have to select? That now depends upon the second condition, which is the sum. Now if I take 1 times 6, I am getting 6 as a product. But if I add 1 and 6, I am getting 7. But I need the product as sum as 5. So this is not going to work. Now let's take second example. 2 times 3 is 6. And if I add 2 and 3, I'm going to get as 5. So this 5 will work for me. So that means my numbers a and b are 2 and 3. So I will just write its form as x squared plus 5x plus 6 can be written in factorized form as x plus 3 times x plus 2. Okay, let's try one more question. For example, we have x squared plus 11x plus 30. I have to write in factorized form. So factorized form means in the multiplication form. So its multiplication form is something like x plus a times x plus b for monic quadratic trinomials. Now I have to find the two numbers a and b such that if I add them, I should get 11. And if I multiply them, I should get 30. So I will start with my product value. So it is 1 times 30 is 30. 2 times 15 is also 30. 3 times 10 is also 30. 4 times anything is not 30. 5 times we need to take the integers. 5 times 6 is also 30. And then 10 times 3, that is already written. So these are the possible cases. Basically, we are writing the factors of 6. Factors of 30. So 1 times, 2 times, 3 times, these all are the factors of 30. Okay. Now, in all the cases, I am getting 30. But I need to know that which one is producing the sum as 11 also, if I add the numbers. So 1 plus 30 is 31. It will not work. 2 plus 15 is 17. It's not going to work. 3 plus 10 is 13. It is not going to work. 5 plus 6 is 11. It is going to work. So my numbers would be 5 and 6. As I got these numbers, I will say the factorization form is x plus 6 times x plus 5 or x plus 5 times x plus 6. So this is the concept of factorization. In CBSE, we do it with the help of splitting the middle terms. So the whole process is same, but instead of writing this answer x plus 5 and x plus 6 directly, what we do, we find the numbers are 5 and 6, and we do the concept of splitting the middle term. So like I have the question here, x square plus 11x plus 30, and I found the numbers are 5 and 6. So I will split this middle term 11x as 5x plus 6x, or you can write it like 6x plus 5x. In any order you can write, but keep the signs properly. Here both are positive, so it does not matter. So I will be writing this expression, which is x squared plus 11x plus 30 as x squared plus 6x plus 5x plus 30. Now this trinomial has been split into 4 terms. Now if I look at the first 2 terms, apply the concept of factorization again. So if this is a 2 terms, x square plus 6x, what I can take common? I have to do the factorization. So we have x squared and 6x. If you have done the first 2 lessons properly, then you won't be able to, you won't find any difficulty in factorizing it. It would be x times x plus 6 plus 5x plus 30. So 5 and 30, I can take 5 common. And again, you will be left with 5x plus 5. Whenever you do this factorization, these bracket terms should come out same. If they are not same, even the sign is different, that means you have done something wrong and you need to recheck your work. Now, if you see here, we have 2 terms. One is x into x plus 6. Another is 5 into x plus 6. So I can see this 5x plus 6 and this x plus 6 is common. So I would be taking this x plus 6 common. And in the remaining, we will get x from the first bracket and plus 5 from the second. So this is the factorization. I hope this method is clear to you. If there is any doubt, you can let me know. And this is all about the monic quadratic trinomials factorization. And we discussed only the case with plus and minus, plus symbols only. In my next video, I will be focusing on the same topic, but with the negative signs. The main aim of this video was just to make clear the concept of what is a quadratic trinomial meaning, what is the meaning of monic, and then what is the factorized form and how to get it, how to relate these numbers with the sum and product, which term represents sum, which term represents product. The most important, one of the most important thing is you have to write in order. First term should be x squared, then x, and then the constant term. And then the middle term coefficient, this 11 is the coefficient of x. Okay, the numbers which are written with the variable are called the coefficient, which is just written before it. Okay, so this 11 is called the sum value and this 30 is the product. First, we always look for product, and the best way is write down the factors. Then choose the factors, write down all the factors, and after that you have to see which of these factors are satisfying the second condition of getting the correct sum, and choose those 2 numbers. Okay, thank you everyone.